Hello, my name is Derrick Spice. I would like to thank everyone for being here. It is my honor and privilege to talk to you today about what is coming after high school. If you are here, that probably means that you are interested in your son or daughter possibly getting an athletic scholarship, or you are possibly interested in hearing about some of the rewards that are available for them. Some of the things that we'll be talking about tonight are the different levels of university athletics, the types of scholarships, and some of the misconceptions that come along with them, how revenue is generated by athletic departments at the university level, the controversy that is going on today about athletes being paid, as well as the rewards of athletics after high school. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself and my background. I grew up playing sports, traveled around the country to compete in different competitions. I was a two-time state tennis champion in Ohio and was ranked one of the top 20 recruits in the country my junior year of high school. It was my goal to get a scholarship, and I was recruited by many Division I schools, many of which were in the Big Ten Conference. After I went on 5 official visits to different colleges, I chose Wake Forest, a small Division I school located in North Carolina, where I obtained my undergraduate degree in communications. I then continued in college athletics on the other side of things. I became the Davidson College assistant coach, tennis coach. Davidson is another small college located in North Carolina with very different circumstances and opportunities for high school athletes. I was unaware of all the different levels in college athletics until I got out there and was exposed to them myself. There are 3 different levels in the NCAA, which is the National Collegiate Athletic Association. There are the NAIA schools, Intercollegiate Athletics, and the NJCAA schools, which are the junior colleges. The biggest difference between these levels is that Division III schools do not offer scholarships, and then only about 90% of NAIA schools offer scholarships. Are scholarships everything? Stan Bonewald, the director of athletics at Concordia University in Texas, has a unique perspective. This D3 school does not give out scholarships, but his athletes have jobs, working just as hard at their sport as they are getting an education and play for the love of the game. Their athletic teams may not be bringing in as much revenue, but they are bringing school spirit or school life with their athletic programs. There is a sense of entertainment and pride associated with playing at a D3 school. Let's take a look at the state of Texas. Here are some of the college athletic programs in Texas. Texas has more athletic programs than the Big 12 and SEC competitors combined, but they do not all give out scholarships. There are 23 universities at the Division I school located in Texas, 13 Division II teams, and 16 Division III teams. And again, Division III does not provide scholarships for their student athletes. There are 12 NAIA schools, and there are 45 NJCAA schools, again, all of which do not offer scholarships. You might wonder how scholarships are obtained in Division I and Division II schools. There are two types of scholarships that you can earn. You can earn an academic scholarship, which is based off a high GPA, good SAT or ACT scores, community service, etc. There are also athletic scholarships, which can come in full or partial scholarships for most. What are the misconceptions that I have heard? 1, parents come up to me and say, my son or daughter will get an athletic scholarship. I'm not saying that they can't or they won't by any means, but they are very hard to come by. The reality is that only 2% of all high school athletes will end up getting a college athletic scholarship. 2, the second misconception I hear is that a full ride pays for everything. even the parents' hotel rooms. All right, full scholarships pay for tuition and fees, room and board, and books. All right, partial scholarships may pay for one or two of those things. They do not pay for phone bills. Scholarships do not pay for travel and lodging for families, car bills, or really any non-educational expenses. A lot of people often wonder how revenue is actually generated by the athletic department at the university level. The obvious things would be TV deals, ticket sales, merchandise, outside contributions, alumni or businesses. However, this differs from university to university. Forbes actually broke this down in 2013. According to Forbes, first and most obviously is that successful teams generate a positive operating income for a school's athletic department. Football is ordinarily an athletic department's biggest revenue driver, and that income is required to support non-revenue sports like golf and swimming. If a team is profitable enough to cover those costs and still put its athletic department in the black, then revenue can be directed back to the parent university to support academic programming. The second major way for a team to create value is by competing in a lucrative bowl game. The most rewarding are the 5 BCS bowls. This year, a conference champion's bid is worth around $24 million, and at large berth pays an extra $6.2 million or so. Other games like the Capital One Bowl, Chick-fil-A Bowl, and Cotton Bowl also hand out paychecks worth over $3 million to each participating conference. That bowl revenue goes to the conferences, which ordinarily divvy up the income evenly among member schools. For a team like Alabama or Wisconsin, which regularly plays in those valuable BCS bowls, the revenue generated for fellow conference schools is immense. Bowl revenue is also a big part of why schools are so willing to join the SEC. This year, the conference will take home a massive $52 million from bowl games, more than any other conference. Third and finally, teams can generate value for their surrounding communities by attracting fans at home games. Notre Dame is probably the best example of how significant the economic impact can be. The school recently released an economic impact report that details how a typical home football game draws nearly 62,000 visitors and about $9.5 million in spending. While not many teams have the national fan base of Notre Dame, even a much smaller program like Oregon, which ranks number 19 on our list with a value of $64 million, generates some $4.5 million in visitor spending per home game. The next question I hear comes up is a very controversial one. With all the money that is coming in at big-time schools, why are the athletes not getting paid? The biggest criticism for that is Title IX. You have to have an equal number of men and women's teams. Therefore, you have to pay all athletes, not just the football or basketball players. Universities don't want to even open that door because lawsuits will most likely be filed. The opposing side looks at the NCAA health concerns. If a student were to get hurt, who pays for surgery? Do they lose their scholarship? Why can't they be rewarded for their play? Why does the coach make all the money? The answer is that you can get more out of college athletics than just money. Scholarships are very valuable. Like I said before, only 2% of high school athletes walk away with them. However, college is also about getting an education, focusing on the future, and getting you ready to become a professional if that is the route that you want to choose. We can't forget the small valuable life lessons our children are learning in college. If we start giving them a salary, we are only taking their eyes off the focus of the game and what they should be paying attention to. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, what happened to playing a sport because you love the game? This leads to my last and final topic for tonight. What are the rewards of athletics after high school? I was lucky enough to become an assistant tennis coach at Davidson College at one point in my career, and I watched my young athletes become successful citizens and business people in our world today. They receive 4 important things while attending school at Davidson. 1, they received a world-class education. This eventually leads to an increase in salary. According to a study by the USA Today that discovered that an employee with a college degree earns about $6,500 more per year. That might not seem like a lot, but over a long period of time that adds up. I'm not saying that you won't be successful if you don't finish your college degree. I am just talking statistics and a small benefit to being a student athlete with or without a scholarship. Physical and nutritional values and benefits of being a college athlete. They were taught how to lift, what to lift, proper technique and form, what to eat and when. Division I programs usually bring in a nutrition coach to help the athletes make proper choices. So they learn this as a lifelong lesson. They also have an increased worldview. They are going to travel a lot. We're going from the East Coast to West Coast and gain different perspectives after seeing different parts of the country and world. Finally, our athletes, student athletes, develop short-term and lifelong relationships. Another benefit of being an athlete, student athlete, you are exposed to very good coaches. How many times do you hear someone say, if it wasn't for this particular coach, I wouldn't be the person I am today? Coaches bring lots of value to schools. Let's think about John Wooden versus Bill Belichick. Wooden inspires, Belichick motivates. Wooden inspires us to be better people. Belichick merely motivates his players to win. They both are about championships, but both are very different. Canyon ISD's Joe Lombard is the most successful basketball coach for the boys and girls in Texas ever. He wins title after title, and the big question is, how does he do it year after year? He says you have to love the kids. Winning alone is not enough. We expect so much out of them. They have a coach they respect and love, and a coach who inspires them. Peers. It's just not about relationships with coaches either. Your relationships with your teammates are beyond valuable. These people shape you, help you build character, push you every single day. They are people with the same work ethic that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. In closing, there are many different benefits to playing Division I, II, or III. Life after high school is filled with many opportunities for your son or daughter to play the sport they fell in love with. I hope you learned something from our discussion tonight, and I thank you for your time.